بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد, الحافظ الذهبي رحمه الله, he says, Al-Kaba'ir الثامنة, the eighth major sin, أكل مال اليتيم ظلما, unjustly consuming the wealth of the orphan, unjustly, oppressively, wrongly eating the wealth of a yatim. We clearly see that the author, rahimahullah, qayyad, he made a restriction, and he didn't just say aklu amwal al-yatim, eating the orphan's wealth. Inna alladhina ya'kuluna amwal al-yatama. Allah doesn't say that, but it's clearly mentioned with the restriction of dhulman, unjustly, oppressively. And that shows us is that if a man or a woman ate, and we explained what that meant already when we talked about riba, eating from riba. Why does Allah say eating? We explained that already. If a person, quote unquote, ate the wealth of the orphan, and it wasn't dhulman, it wasn't out of oppression and injustice, then it wouldn't be haram. It wouldn't be haram. Such as one who's looking after the orphan, a stepfather, a stepmother, or a caregiver, someone who's looking after the orphanage. And obviously a person, anyone who's doing something full-time needs to survive and eat as well. It's a very important Islamic principle. If you're doing something full-time and you're devoted and dedicated to a thing, you have to eat. You have expenses. It's not about making money, which is nothing wrong with, but that's not the point, or getting rich. But it's the point that you have what? You have bills. You have bills, you have responsibilities. Nothing in the dunya is free. Nothing in the dunya is for free. Not even the air that you breathe. There's a cost that you pay, whether you realize it or not. So therefore, a person has to survive. So if a man or woman is looking after the orphan, taking care of them, making sure that they have the necessary things that they need and want, obviously they have to what? They have to survive and make a living as well. So therefore, the one who's looking after the orphan, if they invest the wealth of the orphan, they take care of it, they protect it from loss, they make business, they make money for the orphan, and they have a stipend, or from time to time, basic necessities that they need, let alone eating with the orphan. The orphan is living in my house. I can't just say, okay, this is your food. You have what? Chicken, broccoli, and potatoes. And then I make a whole separate different meal. A different stove, a different range, different pots, different water, different gas. I have fish, rice, and beans. I can't eat from you. We can't share the same plate. We can't share the same meal. That's a clear hardship. That's a clear hardship. And that's not what's understood by eating the wealth of the orphan. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Surah Al-Baqarah, they ask you concerning yatama, orphans. قُلْ إِصْلَاحُ لَهُمْ خَيْرٌ. Allah says it's best for you to mend their situation, rectify their situation. It's best for you to look after them. وَإِن تُخَالِطُوهُمْ فَإِخْوَانُكُمْ. Allah says, and if you mix with them, if you live with them, travel with them, if you eat with them, فَإِخْوَانُكُمْ. Allah says they're your brothers. وَاللَّهُ يَعْلَمُ الْمُفْسِدَ مِنَ الْمُصْلِحِ. And Allah surely knows those who are troublemakers and those who are peacemakers. Allah knows those who are making corruption and those who are doing things the right way. وَلَوْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ لَعَنَتَكُمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ عَزِيزٌ حَكِيمٌ. Allah says, and if Allah willed, He would have put a hardship on you. If Allah willed. And that's a clear hardship. I'm taking care of the orphan. He lives in my house for all of his wealth, his food, his drink, his gas, his water, his what? That's extreme hardship. Allah says, وَلَوْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ لَعَنَتَكُمْ. If Allah willed, He would have put a hardship on you. إِنَّ اللَّهَ عَزِيزٌ حَكِيمٌ. Allah is exalted in might and strength and power. And He is the most wise, subhanahu wa ta'ala. So eating from the wealth of the orphan is one thing, and eating their wealth oppressively is something different. Stealing from them, abusing their wealth, not looking after their investments, being lax with regards to taking care of their things. They have a house, they have a car, they have this and that. You allow it to deteriorate and to dilapidate. It takes maintenance. You have to look after the orphan's wealth. And this is one of the reasons why looking after the orphan is one of the greatest acts of ibadah. And there are many virtues of looking after the orphan. as the Prophet ﷺ told us. So Al-Dhahabi rahimahullah says, أكل مال اليتيم ظلما. قال الله تعالى إن الذين يأكلون أموال اليتامى ظلما إنما يأكلون في بطونهم نارا وسيصلون سعيرا. Those who eat the wealth of the orphans unjustly only consume fire in their bellies, and they will burn in hell. They will burn sa'ir. So the verse says two things: that you're only eating fire, consuming fire in your belly, and you're going to burn on top of that. So it shows us that eating the wealth of the orphan unjustly is a major sin. وقال تعالى ولا تقربوا مال اليتيم إلا بالتي هي أحسن حتى يبلغ الآية. Allah says, and do not approach the wealth of the orphan except in the best manner until they reach full age. Until he reaches adolescence, puberty, he's a man, she's a woman, and they can decide on what to do with their wealth. So this verse shows us is that it's permissible to go near the wealth of the orphan, but billati ahsan, in the best way, in the best manner. I want to take this money and put it up for you. It's your account, not my account, but I want to put it up so you don't spend it or I waste it. I want to invest this money. You have to have a balance. I cannot allow you to take all your money and spend it at the candy store. You have to live 7 days out the week. I'll give you such amount of dollars every day, every month. You have to live off this money that was left behind by your father or by your parents. Things like this. Things like this. If the orphan is living in your house and something happens to you, your gas is going to get cut off. Anybody with common sense is going to say he's going to do what? He's going to pay the gas bill for everyone, because if the gas goes out, the orphan is going to suffer. I'm going to suffer. And if I suffer, then who's going to suffer? The orphan as well. So it's permissible to do this. وقال عليه الصلاة والسلام اجتنبوا السبع الموبقات فذكر منها أكل مال اليتيم. The Prophet ﷺ also says, avoid the 7 destroyers. And from them he mentioned eating the wealth of the orphan. In this hadith, it doesn't say dhulman. It doesn't say dhulman. It doesn't say unjustly. But it says eating the wealth of the orphan. We have the proper understanding, but it goes to show you that this hadith is severe warning. Avoid the 7 destructive sins. Don't go near the wealth of the orphan. Al-Dhahabi rahimahullah says, وَكُلُّ وَلِيٍّ لِيَتِيمٍ كَانَ فَقِيرًا فَأَكْلَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ فَلَا بَأْسَ عَلَيْهِ وَمَا زَادَ عَلَى الْمَعْرُوفِ فَالسُّحْتٌ حَرَامٌ وَالْمَعْرُوفُ يُرْجَعُ فِيهِ إِلَى عُرْفِ النَّاسِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ الْخَالِيِينَ الْأَغْرَاضِ الْخَبِيثَةِ. He says, those who look after orphans and they're poor, there's nothing wrong with them eating from the wealth of the orphan bil ma'ruf, in a good way, in a good manner, as we just an example, in an honorable way, not to consume his wealth and just burn his wealth, but in a what? In an honorable way, in a respectable, dignified manner. He says that which goes beyond honor and dignity is suht. He says it's unlawful, illegitimate wealth, illegitimate food. It's haram, it's unlawful. And the scale to determine what is good and what isn't, what's ma'ruf and what's munkar, goes back to, he says, urf an-nas, the custom of the people. The custom of the people who are believers, who are free from nasty motives and base desires. Believers that are pious and righteous, what they consider to be honorable and dignified. Not the kuffar, not fusaq Muslims, not ignorant juhal Muslims, but Muslims that are good and clean and pure. This how much he has, I spent this on gas, I can't eat this, that's plain. Everybody understand this? And not the custom of people that take advantage of orphans and that belittle orphans. In this speech here, even I had to have the laysa ala al-itlaq. It's not absolute, because there are other things in the people's customs, even if they're kuffar, that are okay and to be used as a gauge on what to do, like treating your parents. But that's a long discussion in itself. That's the 8th major sin, aklu mal al-yatimi dhulman. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from that major sin.